Every studio runs into the same physics problem. Different sources want different polar responses, and a microphone with a fixed pattern has already made that choice for you. Too much room on an intimate take, too much bleed when two players face each other, too much proximity effect up close. The usual answer is to own more microphones. There is a better one. This is the Neumann TLM 107 brought to you by Shivansh Electronics. Inside the Neumann TLM 107 is a purpose-built S-terminated dual-diaphragm capsule. Two diaphragms, both resting at ground voltage and balancing them against each other, is what produces every pattern the microphone offers. There are 5, and they are all selected from one toggle on the rear. Omnidirectional, no proximity effect at all, and the flattest low end of the 5 for a room worth hearing or a performer who moves. Wide-angle cardioid, when a voice needs to sit in its space rather than in front of it. Cardioid, the everyday workhorse, it rejects what is behind it. Hypercardioid, the tightest forward lobe, where bleed between two close sources has to go. And figure 8, equal front and rear, dead to the sides. Two voices across a table or the side channel of a mid or side pair. The response stays balanced across all 5, so you change how much room you capture without ever changing how the source itself sounds. The circuit behind that capsule is transformerless. An electronic stage replaces the output transformer entirely, and that is what buys the exceptionally large dynamic range, the linearity across the whole span, and the interference rejection a balanced output needs. It also means one microphone covers both extremes, a maximum sound pressure level of 141 decibels and 153 decibel with the pad engaged against a self-noise floor of just 10 decibel actual. A whispered take and a snare at full force are the same instrument's problem here. Pattern, pre-attenuation and low cut, all live under a single rear navigation toggle with an illuminated ring showing the current state, and after 15 seconds that illumination fades out on its own, so nothing glows at a performer in a darkened room while they work. This is the studio set, and the difference is the EA4 elastic suspension, EA4 BK on the black model. It matters more than it sounds like it should. Structure-borne vibration, footsteps, traffic, doors closing, even the building itself can travel up the stand and straight into the capsule, where it gets recorded underneath the take as low frequency rumble and unwanted mechanical noise. And that is not something you want to try to EQ out afterwards. The EA4 stops those vibrations mechanically before they ever reach the microphone. So the TLM 107 stays properly isolated from the very first take, preserving a cleaner, quieter recording with less unwanted low-end interference. The silhouette is deliberate. That large tapered head grill is a reference to the historic M49, a shorthand that tells an engineer what standards this instrument was built to before they have heard a single take through it. Underneath it is a precisely machined body, a woven steel grill, and a chrome ring that indexes cleanly to its detents. Every element feels purposeful because the construction is not just about appearance. It is about consistency, durability and control. Made in Germany, the build is a major part of why the acoustics hold up so well, and why a microphone like this stays in professional service for decades rather than seasons. It comes in matte nickel and in black. Neither one is the upgrade. The acoustics are identical. Pick the finish that disappears into your room or the ones that does not. What actually changes is smaller than you would expect, but it compounds. The microphone stops being a decision. You stop planning a session around which one you own and start planning it around the source in front of you. Narration in the morning, cardioid, the 100 Hz cut engaged, and the room starts to disappear. An acoustic source in the afternoon on white cardioid with more air and natural space around it. Two voices in the evening on figure 8 with one microphone positioned between them, and that is the point of the TLM 107. You are not changing microphones to change the result. You are changing the pattern and filter to match the source. Same microphone, 3 settings, 5 polar patterns, 141 decibels of headroom, 10 decibel actual of self noise, a 20 Hz to 20 kHz frequency range. Those are not marketing numbers. Every one of those figures comes from Neumann's own published specification, giving you the flexibility to shape the recording before it ever reaches the DAW. The Neumann TLM 107 studio set. Shivansh Electronics, as Neumann's authorized partner, offers it at the market operating price of 1,44,900 rupees per unit inclusive of GST. For the best available price, visit www.shivanshelectronics.in. The TLM 107 studio set page has the full detail, from description to tech specs and real-world workflow. Call or message us on WhatsApp or find us in Kolkata. Consider following us on our social media platforms as mentioned. Thank you so much for your time. We will see you in the next video.